Hey, what the hell? Where are the shoulder pads? What the fuck's going on here?
I don't know, but that sucks. We need shoulder pads. If they can wear their hula skirts, they need their damn shoulder pads.
Exactly. I don't get this. It's almost as if they were lost in the airline lost them or they were told not to come out with them. Jesus Christ! Did he look like a badass or what? Fuck.
It's always been a wonder to me. Like if there was no Animal, like if let's say Animal had the back injury here, I mean Hawk would have been the WCW World Champion. He would have been in singles matches with Flair, would he not?
Well, he did have one singles match with Flair.
Yeah, but I mean they were committed to the Road Warrior gimmick. They were committed to the team.
Right.
But if Animal, for whatever reason, wasn't able to compete and got a huge payout from Lloyd's of London, enough to never have to work again, and Hawk didn't feel like he was leaving a man behind, Hawk could have been you guys' Ultimate Warrior, could he not?
Yeah. Because, and I think he could have been better than the Ultimate Warrior because I think he had a very believable rap, if you will, had a very believable discussion. You believed him when he talked. You would say, that motherfucker's a badass. And you know what?
Look at him. Holy shit.
Yeah. He was a badass, but he was also a sweetheart. And that's what that's what amazes me about pro wrestling. One of the things that I always loved was here I am behind the scenes knowing these guys in real life and how they really are, and then their persona that they have when they come out of the ring. Perfect example. Dean Malenko. I think we all saw that at Starrcast. Dean Malenko's like Henny Youngman, almost a stand-up comedian. And he was nothing like that on TV. Nothing like that on TV. And I always thought it was the great con for us when he would come out and that Iceman music and look serious and always be serious. I'm thinking, here's that silly son of a bitch that I know, and the fans now got to see that. I thought it was great. Same thing with Hawk. Just a sweetheart of a guy, but sweetheart of a guy that I don't think he really wanted to get pissed off, you know?
I don't want to piss him off, even now that he's no longer with us. I'm afraid he may dig out and show up on my front door and go, well, do your little jokes now, fucker.
Tony Schiavone. He's the one that made that famous. You know, a lot of people see me now and they go, Tony Schiavone. And it was called a Hawk. It really was. Pretty good opening match, though. I mean, the Road Warriors were really over at this time. So it's really good to have them at the start. Look at this,
Samoan
man.
SWAT team, no slouch either. Probably one of the more underrated teams.
No. Yeah, tough as they can be, man. This is, help me out here. This is, Rikishi's one of these guys, right?
Yep. He's one on the ground right now, getting up.
Right. And think about the lineage for the Samoan SWAT team and the Samoans in pro wrestling. And you're right. They're just, they're absolutely tough. And these are a couple of guys who, in real life, if this was a real fight, they wouldn't have backed down from the Road Warriors. As big and strong as
they would have probably fucking eaten them.
Right, exactly.
By the way, we should mention that the Torch would say Clash of the Champions 8 drew an outstanding 4.9 rating, with ratings peaking during the main event at 6+. So we should mention that even though there's a huge hit on TV, as you were saying, there's only like 2,600 fans in the arena.
Right. And we're talking about South Carolina, which was a real stronghold for Jim Crockett Promotions. I mean, really, they had great clearances, great local clearance.
You think about what you just said, that this is a Jim Crockett Promotions hotbed, and we've got the Freebirds, we've got the Steiners, we've got the Road Warriors, we got Lex Luger, we got Sting, Flair. As far as a JCP talent roster, much of the roster is the same.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, it's just not a big draw. Do you think that had to do with poor promotion locally? I know that wrestling promotions for years and years have worked with local promoters to sort of help sell tickets locally. Or was it just the fact that the WWF was just the perceived hot product at the time? Or, maybe to your point, without David Crockett out there on the stick, it didn't feel the same anymore. Without Tony Schiavone out there on the stick, it didn't feel the same anymore. They grew up with Jim Crockett. I mean, arguably, the lighting is better. The ring looks different. You know, there's guardrails instead of a rope. I mean, so there's some minor changes, but the biggest difference as far as the television presentation, there's no David Crockett. There's no Tony Schiavone. It doesn't feel like what maybe they grew to love.
Well, that could be part of it. I'm not so sure. Here's another thought. It's free on TV. I think that has something to do with it. I think if you're a promoter, and the longtime promoter in this area was an older gentleman who I really liked, really knew. His name was Henry Marcus. I don't know if Henry was still. I probably when Jim Crockett Promotions was sold, Henry was no longer promoting the Carolinas, South Carolina. But I'm sure as a promoter, it was extra tough to try to get fans in when they knew they could watch it on TV. That's maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I mean, you know, you said they grew up with Tony and David. They grew up with watching a studio show.
Yeah. By the way, end of the month, we're going to see a studio show from the NWA.
We are?
Yeah. Not me and you, but I'm saying, not like here on the show, but Billy Corgan and Dave Lagana are bringing back studio wrestling to Atlanta at the end of the month. What do you think?
Well, I think like I've always thought about wrestling. I think for wrestling to be hot again, which it is, I think everybody has to be successful. I think there has to be everybody has to do well, and I hope they do well. I hope MLW does well. Obviously, I want AEW to continue to do well, and I want the WWE to do well. You know, they talk about wrestling being cyclical. Look at the fans here. Holy shit, what a bump. Hell of a bump, kid. Boy, the Samoans sold this quite well.
By the way, Wade would give it a B. It says the opening bout saw the Road Warriors pin the SST in a very good 7-minute brawl. After getting hit by a phone and a top rope clothesline, the SST were pinned. Ellering got revenge on Paulie and nailed him with the phone, and the SST left dangerously in the ring in disgust. Gives it a B.
I would agree. That was pretty good. Pretty good opening match. Let's take a look at the replay once again. All right. Is this the replay we want? Okay, roll replay. Come on, roll it. Whoa. That was pretty stiff clothesline that time, too. I think most everything Hawk did was pretty stiff. Like there.
Is that a Blue Chew spot?
It's not a Blue Chew reference, but it could be. A lot of wrestlers were stiff, and now a lot of fans are stiff thanks to Blue Chew. How about that? We've already done our Blue Chew spot. But
you just can't stop talking about these dicks.
Well, oh boy. Jesus. People are going to really talk about that online.
About what?
Schiavone can't stop talking about dicks. Well, now Paul Heyman is doing. Have you heard how Paul's doing in the WWE?
Well, anytime you ask Paul how he's doing, he's going to say terrific.
Yeah, I know. I hope he's doing well.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he
is. One of the more talented guys.
Oh my God. We should mention that you guys are using this as a way on Clash of the Champions, so I guess you weren't there yet, to promote the first ever Halloween Havoc, which is going to be one of my favorite pay-per-views of the year. And this promo was kind of well done.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, considering that years later you guys would have like shit that didn't make any sense to promote the pay-per-view, and here we're at least trying.
Are you ripping on me in the mansion closing the my wife is baking cookies?
No, I like that. I'm talking about like in like 96 and 97 and 98, you guys would just have like high voltage trying to sell the pay-per-view because whoever was in charge of the commercials was like, Hey, these guys aren't doing anything. Let's use them. Hey, there's a reason they're not doing anything. Nobody wants to see them.
Yes.
Don't put them on there.
World Order and the Crow, Thunder Russo, Arquette Champ, Vinnie Mac, simulcast. Tony's back with Conrad, not your classy podcast. Watch along, try not to laugh. Lowest rules can't pass. This wasn't the initial plan. Tom Zig's a good-looking man. Tom Zig's a good-looking man. Klondike Bill, make a chant.